1-1-1. Good morning, Blues, and welcome back to We Are the South Stand. It is the morning after the big derby win against Manchester United. Something to celebrate, but of course it is also still a day in mourning. It's the day after we found out that sadly Ricky Hatton was taken from us. The win felt sweeter from that, but we have to keep the tributes pouring in. Some of the stuff we've seen today, don't know if anyone remembers, but the clips of, I don't know if you've seen the footage, or those of you that are young that would need to see footage, some of you would have been about. Some of you, like Big Steve, were blessed to have been there when Ricky Hatton did fight Mayweather over in America, and the whole of Manchester went. And I've seen some footage going round of there's only one Ricky Hatton ringing around Madison Square Garden. Sensational, man. And it's still very, very sad news. But onto the football, people, onto the football and the positive things. This is my 5 things we have learnt from the derby against Manchester United yesterday. Now, there's a few that I'm not going to put in there. One, for example, is that Manchester United are still shit, that Manchester is still blue, and that Amorim is still blessed to be in a job. And also that Amorim has still not won 2 games on a bounce. These are all obvious things. And listen, I'm giving you my 5 things. Literally after the game last night, sit down, go through it. 5 things I've taken from it. These are my 5 things. You will have different ones. And this is where I really want you to get involved. The comments down below, this is for you to give me. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Give me your 5 things that you took from the game. Of course. Right, so where do I start? I'm going to start with the picture right. I always fail to do this. Right here. Philip Walter Foden. I'm throwing 2 into 1 here. I'm being cheeky. Foden, Erling Haaland. They get what it is to be a Manchester City player. They love the club. They care. They know what a derby means. Similar ages. At times with both of them, I have said, they need to step up a bit more and be the leaders now. I am saying we have learned that Phil Foden and Erling Haaland can both carry Manchester City, right? They can both step up and be leaders. That's what we saw yesterday on the pitch, leaders with both of them. From minute 1, listen, we have to remember, with both of them, they've grown up. Erling Haaland has grown up with Ricky Hatton being about in his life. I'm not saying they were close friends or their dads were close friends, but if you are, a Manchester City fan, if you are even your dad played for Manchester City, you know about Ricky Hatton. Erling Haaland will have met Ricky Hatton many times. Same with Phil Foden. They know what it is to be a Manchester City player. But more importantly, they know what it is to be a leader and to step up in big moments. Now, Erling Haaland made it clear after the Brighton win that it wasn't good enough, and that the whole team know what needs to be done. But he said, listen, I'm not having this against them lot. And he kept to his word, because from minute 1, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden were putting in 100% work rate up and down the pitch, everywhere. Let's firstly talk on Erling Haaland. Listen, the goals he got, so important, so important, and clinical. I've been saying all week, now he's part of this leadership group, I needed him to step up and show us he was a leader. That is what he did. What he did from minute 1, the running. You've got to remember, I'm pretty certain early doors as well, he fed someone Reijnders through with an absolutely beautiful pass. So we're seeing Erling Haaland's game adapt, but it was the leadership. Listen, at points in that second half where he was getting back and defending, at one point, I think there was something like 3 or 4 interceptions in the space of about 2 minutes. I'm going to go on to this a bit more, but then it's after that, after he's made the interceptions, it's back to that Dortmund Haaland where he was, digging deep to be the other end of the pitch straight away, counter-attacking. It was just two performances that showed me these are two players that care about this club and that they know, the first couple of games, not good enough. And now look. So shout to Erling, Haaland and Foden, special mentions. And Foden, class, the tweet last night. Right, second thing we have learned. Where do I go with the second thing? Right, the second thing, and this could have easily been number one, but many of these could have been. Donnarumma has feet. It has been confirmed. I can confirm. I watched the game and Donnarumma has feet. Listen, might not be Eddie's feet. He's got feet. He's okay with them. He's better with his hands. And he's actually even better with his knees. That knee slide in front of the United fans was sensational. But he is the difference. This is the main point. He is the difference. He can be the difference in some games. When you are a City goalkeeper, sometimes you have to know that you might have a quiet game, but then every now and again you will be called upon. When he was called upon at every moment yesterday, he was there. Now, he is a leader, right? We saw the embrace of him and Haaland at the end. That's two leaders embracing. You saw the way he celebrated in front of the City fans. That's what a leader does. He gets the troops on his back straight away. Listen, them City fans have bought into him. That's what leaders do. We've bought into Donnarumma. But then the other thing is corners. And of course, look, the saves, we've all seen that one particular save from Mbeumo, sensational. But corners, what impressed me on corners was how he was so in control of everything, pushing people out of the way. If he wants to get his fist on a ball, he's getting his fist on a ball. Simple as that. Don't matter if you're in the way, he's coming through you. Now, that is what a goalkeeper does. So second thing I take from this is Donnarumma is a leader and everything this Manchester City team needed. Third thing I would take from this, right, I'm going to go with the back. There's been a lot of questions about, is Ruben Diaz good enough? And I've always said it's funny that we're talking about someone that won Premier League Player of the Season, not City Player of the Season, not Defender of the Season, Premier League Player of the Season. And now we're saying, is he good enough? Now, the truth be told that he has been exposed more with the fact we're losing the ball a bit higher up the pitch more. They're countering more. And then, of course, with the lack of pace, no Walker, no Ake when he had legs. But we also then question what our best centre-back partnership is. And then there's the biggest question. It's a bit like is Donnarumma okay with his feet? The next question, can Khusanov play right back? People, can Khusanov play right back? Did you watch the game? Solid as hell. Absolutely solid as hell. Listen, again, I'm not going to say he's perfect when trying to advance with the ball. He isn't. He's a centre-back. But for me, he put in a stellar performance yesterday. And the most important thing is we could see that whether it be, it's kind of like a bit of a back three with O'Reilly on the left, but O'Reilly going a bit further forward. But a back three of Gvardiol, Diaz, and Khusanov works. It works, people. It was solid as hell. Right. Now, the fourth thing, a midfield. And I think this might be the first time we've seen it because, look, we play about with who we think our best midfielders. Now, me personally, I was actually going to put Foden wide right. And I was saying Bernardo or Gonzalez in with Reijnders and Rodri. We didn't. We saw a Rodri, Foden, Reijnders midfield, which I'll be honest with you, when you listen to that, it sounds absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Balanced. Yep. Creative. Yep. Can drive with the ball. Yep. Between those three, you've got it all. But we hadn't seen them together. And yesterday was the first game. Look, Foden's first game back. Rodri's still recovering from an ACL. Reijnders has been here for 2 minutes. So this is a midfield that we've never seen before. They've never played together before, right? Was it perfect? No, it wasn't. There was a few passes wayward. For me, nowhere near as bad a passing as we saw in the Brighton game or the Tottenham game where we were giving the ball away a lot. But for me, the most important thing between those three was the speed they were moving the ball, the speed they were moving about. they were starting to create triangles. Remember that. We haven't seen these triangles for like in midfield for a season or so, right? I don't know if you lot noticed those little triangles popping up again. Those Reijnders, Foden, Rodri triangles, because they're popping up all over the gaff. And listen, Foden was in a role where he could start to control the game, and that's what he did. That is what he did. Those three together. Reijnders, I think, had a shaky first half, maybe a little bit. Second half really grew into it, but he was popping the ball about well, and it's getting used to playing together as a unit. Those three, we have learned, those three can play together as a unit. And then finally, the last thing. Got to give a massive shout out to the main man that, listen, I've said 10 games before I form an opinion on if I think he will turn it around and get us back to winning the league. I've made it very clear I will never be Pep out, me personally. Listen, there might come a day where it's Pep and the club make an agreement to go their separate, well, to part ways. I will never be Pep out. Done too much for me, defended our club when we don't need to. But 10 games for me to just have a personal opinion up here, right, on if I think he's going to do it or not. And my key fundamentals on that is that he's got so much credit in the bank. First season, I always go back to this. First season, we finished third. Changes were made. Next season, 100 points. Now, if a man has done that for my club, let alone everything else he's done since then he's given the right to rebuild. But the other thing I've said is I also need to see that Pep can adapt, and I need to see that Pep is learning, right? Now, that's what I am seeing right now from Pep, that this man is learning, right? Even though he's the greatest manager in world football, yes, I said it very clearly, he is still learning. He is willing to adapt. Tiny little things. There's a few things I can think of, just going to reel them off. Firstly, I've been saying, please give Savio a chance on the left. Now, I know Savio only came on for, 10, 15 minutes, but he came on the left. Thank you. Doku yesterday wasn't hugging that touchline as much. Doku was coming inside. Doku was picking up the ball in different areas, a lot more involved. And by the way, people, you can give credit to the players for doing it, absolutely, but you also have to give man. And we know, because over the years we've said, if you don't do what Pep says, Henry said it, he'll drag you. Yeah. So anyone that thinks, oh no, this isn't Pep, this is the players. No. That doesn't happen under Pep Guardiola. If you don't do what Pep has said, yeah, you can do that, then there's a good chance you're being subbed off. But the fact that he is adapting to the willingness to play Khusanov at right back, the fact that we had seen Reijnders play a lot deeper, and maybe that hasn't looked so good. Yesterday, Reijnders playing through the middle. Playing further forward. Again, all these things are Pep. He's tweaking at the moment for me. He's tweaking. He's trying to make it work. And there was, the one other thing, and I don't know if I want to give, right. Pep has come out and said what Ederson gave us was the best goalkeeper with his feet possibly ever in world football, right? And what Gigi brings us is different. Now, I do think he spoke about, he's got balls. He loves using that term. He's got balls, and that is how commanding he is at corners and whatever. But I don't know if Pep did this one on purpose or not, right? But this goes back to the Haaland thing. And this Donnarumma Haaland connection, mate. And I like to build little things that are going on in football, right? But I don't know if Pep has stumbled across this on purpose or not. But from us playing Donnarumma, a keeper that people believe isn't great with his feet, and I think yesterday we saw Man United were pressing him a lot. We also then talk about, having three centre-backs and the fact that we dropped quite deep at some points. We were actually letting Man United have more of the ball. Now, is it a coincidence that when those two things happen, all of a sudden, there's a lot more space further up the pitch for Erling Haaland to break into, for Reijnders to break into? I don't know if he's done it on purpose or not, but Pep, you might have unlocked prime Haaland again. Listen, it's one game. These are just my takes. I know a lot of you will disagree with me. I'm wrong a lot of the time, but this is just my opinion. People, please, please, please do get involved in the comments below. Also, listen, you can see this fine selection of jerseys here from the 1989 Home kit. The original first Premier League Kappa kit, City, of course, King Clancy days. We've got your concept kits. Listen, all of these people are from OK Jerseys. They've even got the new kits as well. They've got everything. And it's not just City, it is internationals, it's everything, tracksuits as well. And they are only £15. That's right. Listen, the QR code is there, the website is there. If you use the code OK at checkout, you then get a further 8% off. So that's £15 plus a further 8% if you use the code. People, please do use the code. It's so that they know that people are paying attention and are using it. But people, listen, this needs to become your go-to, right? Because football shirts, the prices are going way, way, way too high. £15, the quality is exceptional. I would not endorse them because me and Steve would not endorse something if we did not think it was a good product. So please do go and check that out. And of course, make sure you go and check out Match Bingo. Off of £4, I had a £500 win last weekend or weekend before last. It's fun. It's only £2 a line. It's something you can just do. And while the football's on, you know, it gives you 15 different things to keep your eye on. So get involved in Match Bingo. And of course, use the promo code CITY to get an extra. If you deposit £5, you'll get £15. So listen, thank you. Slightly longer video than usual, but lot to talk about. As always, of course, smash a like for Ricky Hatton. Rest in peace. We will be back later on tonight. Got Martin on, hopefully Pulpy on, a few others on. We're giddy. We want to talk about the derby again. So keep an eye out for that. Until then, we are out. This is the South Stand. I am Daps. Peace.